right, I said it. And today, by the end of the video, you're gonna know why I absolutely dislike pay yourself first. But before we can get into why I don't like pay yourself first, I'm gonna have to share with you what it is. So, I'll get to it. Thank you, producer. Please share this with someone else that you think is a dumbass that's gonna blow all their money. This is an average American's salary. If you're in the coasts, adjust it a little higher. If you are, in the center of the United States, adjust it a little bit lower, but this is pretty accurate of what you're gonna see. The average person is gonna say, all right, well, I've got rent, right? Can't do too much about, That's not entirely true, but we can't do too much about it. Let's say you got car expenses, you got your car payment, you have fuel, you have insurance, you have to set some money aside for oil changes. Let's say it averages out to $500 a month. You have food, right? Uber Eats some stuff, you go out to eat sometimes, and then you also have groceries. You're trying to be responsible, $700. Then you have others, your phone bill, utilities, fun, going out. Maybe it's buying those things you want. And then you have savings. Well, if you add all this up, it's already at $3,900. You got $100 left over for savings. And saving is important. You were always taught that. But what do you really do with it? That's right. Billy invited you out and you just blew it on drinks. Or you put it somewhere else as something else happened, something with your car came up, or you really wanted that thingy-badoo. So you bought that thingy-badoo, and then for $80, you got $20 going left into savings. So that is the average American, the way they spend. That's their habit. Pay Yourself First does not do that. It prioritizes saving over here, where you say, at the very beginning of the month, first thing I'm gonna do at the full price of what hits my bank account is go into savings. Some people will even set it up to where some works have auto deposits. They auto deposit 10% away. 10% is the average. So $400 immediately goes into savings/investing bucket, which I'm gonna get into more of that here in a second. What does that mean? That means that you already had $400 gone. You have $3,600 to make it that month. You can't do much about rent or car, or you might not be able to, but for food and other, you probably can, right? Maybe you start cooking in, right? Your $700, maybe it goes to $400. If you just went to the grocery store and bought the most expensive foods, you went to the bougiest grocery stores, you went to Whole Foods, and you shop exclusively there, but you didn't go out to eat, you'll be shocked at the amount of money that you save. So if you get yourself an Instapot and give it the old college try for food, there's a very good chance you're gonna be able to save a significant amount. And then other, right? You're gonna have to force this to fit in everywhere else. You gotta get creative. At this point in time, you're still at $1,200, but you've already freed up $300. Well, what can you do with fun or other? Well, if you have a whole bunch of streaming services, maybe you find friends to share streaming services with, and all of a sudden you free up a little bit more. An idea that we have is to challenge you. Instead of doing the 10%, go for 15%. In this example, that would be $600 a month. But Hugh, it's so boring to be saving. What are you doing with all of that? Well, that's for the topic of a different video. But if you start doing this is pay yourself first. But here's why I don't like the term pay yourself first. Because it seems almost like a suggestion or a saying. Instead, you should be more like 22-year-old Hugh, who knew that he was an irresponsible idiot. And because of that, he should probably do something pretty dang drastic. So here's what I did. My first job out of college, I committed myself to a 20% savings rate. But where did I put it? I built up an emergency reserve, but after the emergency reserve was up, almost all of that money, $800 a month, went to S&P 500 Index Fund, VTSAX. That's where all my money went to. I then challenged myself to live off of the remaining $3,200 a month. That drove my decisions of where I had rent, what I would get to do. But I did not call this pay yourself first. I called it something entirely different. And here's why I called it this. I knew I was irresponsible, so what I called it was this. Steal from yourself and hide it because you are a dumbass and will blow it. Or in short, Sifoya ahiba yi adawabi. I'm on a list now somewhere. Thank you. I knew I was irresponsible, so I made it. I renamed this to steal from yourself and hide it, because I know I'm irresponsible. And that might be why you're watching this video. It was because I did this since the time I was 22, entered my first job. Every time I'd get a promotion, I'd stick to this. I kept putting it into a VTSAX index fund. I then, at age 28, had the ability to pull money from that to invest it in real estate, which is what got me out of the rat race. Names are important. Pay yourself first is a limp fish name, right? Moms Against Drunk Driving. You know exactly what it is, and you know why they care, and you didn't know anything else about that bill. Names are important. Steal from yourself because you're gonna blow it. Hide it from yourself. I didn't put this into a bank account. I put it into VTSAX, a Vanguard brokerage firm, specifically because it was 3 days for me to get it out, as opposed to it just sitting around and in my bank account that I could access and transfer and use immediately if I wanted to touch that money. That was huge. $800, that's $9,600, right? That's $9,600 a year. I did this for 10 years. I saved $96,000. But that didn't even account for the fact that as I got promotions and raises, that increased a little bit. And it especially didn't take into account that this year over year grew at an average rate of 12%. So really, by the time I got out, I know that I contributed roughly 100 grand, but I pulled out $233,000, and I went and started buying real estate and allowed me to retire 15 months after that. Why? Because I knew that I was irresponsible. And so you should look at stealing from yourself and hiding it because you are a dumbass and will blow it method of investing. And that's one of the main things that I want you to internalize. It is super important to think about things properly. And this literally was the difference between me actually doing it and not. Me knowing how irresponsible I was and me setting a guideline. Guys, if you like this kind of stuff, please consider joining. There's a little join button down there in the corner. I also have merch. Let me know if you want this merch on a shirt or if you want to tattoo it on your body. I'll definitely feature you on the channel if you do. If you got value from this, please share it with someone that you also think would get value for it. If you didn't get value for it, comment down below on what you would like to see and I'll do my best to do it. Again, guys, seriously consider that tattoo. Like, subscribe, all the other things. Seriously, guys, share this with somebody that needs it. We'll see you next time.